Jim Henson goes, okay, I've been brewing this one up in the fucking I've been brewing this one up.
The boy been cooking.
Yeah, he's been cooking in the booth. Like he's been like.
Hold on, I just want to set the tone real quick.
So the movie is Labyrinth, but he's like, all right, I'm not only just going to like give you a great
like fantastical world, but also have humans in it and music going on.
And boy, did he pick some pretty good humans to be the main focus in this movie.
Yep, and
for
the great and mighty David Bowie, baby!
We're gonna get copyright struck. David Bowie is so goddamn good in this movie. Like, don't get me wrong. There's, of course, going to be hamminess to this movie.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes if they wanted Prince for this role at a certain point.
No, I think Bowie was.
Prince never would have done it, though. Because he'd be like, I have to wear my usual Prince garb. Just how he turned down Fifth Element.
Well, I mean, he could have been one of, like, I guess, the Goblin characters then. Like, he could have been one of the Goblin leaders, or...
I don't play no damn Goblin.
I don't play no damn Goblin. Excuse me. But... Bowie in this movie just is like, he's so goddamn good. He's fucking awesome.
He really is.
Yeah.
Who else do you get to play this, like, fantastical king of the goblins?
I don't know. His commitment, I think, is what makes it, like, so good.
This was my introduction to David Bowie.
I think it was most people. Like, I don't think a lot of kids, unless their parents were, like, had good taste in music and wanted their kids to grow up with good taste in music, then they might know who Bowie is, but, like, you know, for me personally, like, I can't remember a ton of Bowie stuff, but I do remember Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly, very young actress in the movie. I think she's 16 when they made this movie.
15.
Yeah. She's good, you know, definitely starting out, but she, like, has a presence to her. Like, you know, you could tell she's going to be good in time.
Yeah.
Some kid acting stuff falls through.
Yeah.
She plays, like, this young LARPer, you know. Like,
and she, like, the movie starts out with her reading from this book. Like, she's walking through a park and she's reading from this book. And even the way she's dressed, like, is kind of fantastical. She's got these big poofy sleeves and, and a vest. It's very 80s, but also kind of fantastical. Yeah.
Like, I can remember being maybe like 9 or 10 watching this, and I definitely had like a crush on her. I was like, she's awesome. Like, I was like, I will wife you, you dorky nerd.
Right, and she's, like, reading from this book, and she's like, through troubles untold and hardships unnumbered, I have fought my way here to the castle beyond the Goblin City, and my kingdom is as great as yours, and you have no power over me, or something like that.
Well, she forgets that last part.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a cool setup in the writing, is that she forgets that last part. That comes into play later on towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing, too, of, like, the initial, like, she's, like, annoyed with her, like, dumbass like little kid what is he, like, half brother? I think the mom
or step brother. Yeah, because
like, well, it's her half brother. It's like the dad is the same dad, but the mom is different.
But the mom is the stepmom, and I remember the mom even saying, like, she treats me like a evil stepmother no matter what I say. And she has to, like, Sarah, the main girl, Jennifer Connelly, she has to, like, babysit her baby brother, and she's just annoyed with him because he won't stop crying.
I would be, not to be whatever, but a baby crying is
one of the worst sounds in the world.
Brutal. Well, there's literally, like, science behind it where, like, literally, like, the sound of a baby crying to any human being is going to sound bad because we're supposed to protect them. That's a natural, like, protection instinct.
Yeah.
Though I do imagine, like, a serial killer, like, listens to audio tapes of, like, children crying and shit like that. Like, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
You have her, like, you know, about to, like, make this wish, and as she's about to make the wish,
she's about to wish that the baby... I was about to say that the baby had never been born. No, not that.
Oh my god. No, that the Goblin King comes
No, she wishes that the Goblin King, because, you know, she's 15, she's, like, obsessed with goblins and fairies and whatever.
Well, yeah, she's like a medieval fantasy LARPer. She saw Dark Crystal when she was, like, 10, and now she's big into, like, That would be really cool if, like, in universe, like, Dark Crystal was a movie. No, that would be, like, total shit, but that's okay.
Whatever. But she wishes that the Goblin King would take the baby away, and then she hears the crying stop.
Yeah, what makes me laugh is, like, you see the trolls in the closet, and they're like, just say it, goddammit. And, like, I don't think they say goddammit. Yeah, no, they don't cuss, but they are, like, they're like, say it. And
say what?
Oh, yeah, and they're like, shut up. And then finally she, like, you know, says the full thing. Here's like you said, like hear the baby stop crying, walks in. What is it? She like lifts up the. Doesn't she like lift up the covers and sees like some random?
No,
like,
it's literally the baby's gone.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing there.
But you hear like and the movement of like,
and then the flash of lightning.
You see that? Yeah, it's like that. The snow owl.
The snow owl at the This scene used to scare me as a kid because it's so chaotic. There's like, it's dark outside. There's like thunder and lightning and rain pouring. Little goblins hopping around in the room.
Yeah, you hear them cackling and shit.
You hear them cackling. There's the snow owl like tapping at the window. Like that scene scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, there's also like one shot too where it's like a high angle Dutch shot where it's slightly tilted. You know what I'm talking about? Like
I don't remember that shot.
Yeah, it's specifically, I think maybe even like when she's talking to Bowie for the first time, but then you see is it Gareth or Jareth? Jareth. You see Jareth, David Bowie, open through that door and
there's wind and there's glitter and it's fabulous.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness, what the
man
fuck?
knows how to make an entrance.
Yeah, he's got the cock bulge and everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I would have liked to see her and been like, David Bowie, what are you doing here?
But other than the cock bulge, like I do love. Other than that, I do love his outfit. It's very simple. It's monotone. It's like literally gray pants, boots, like a black vest and a white like poofy old timey shirt and black gloves.
Yeah, my boy's got that like. That glam, that glam. He's got that glam metal hair going on. He's got the claw hammer bangs or whatever the fuck they're called. Like,
I always called that hairstyle a spiky afro mullet.
I like the idea of him like for like the one kid in Mob Psycho 100 when he like lifts up his hair and like it's just like a bald spot. Like I imagine him like lifting up his hair and like putting it off to the side and like,
ew, and it's like normal Bowie hair underneath.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that's probably his like legitimate hair. Like that dude had a head of hair right there. But
yeah.
But he basically like, tells Sarah like, hey, took your brother, and she's like, but give him back. And he's like, no, you have to.
No.
Yeah, he's like tissing her, and finally he's like, well, fine, if you can get to my castle through this labyrinth, and you look, and like the labyrinth is fucking huge.
Yeah, and it's literally like they step out of. I think they have like French doors in that room or something. And they step out of them, and it's like it looks like sunrise now. Because like everything is like orangey, and then you cut back to like what's behind them, and the house is gone. Like she's just in this fantasy world now.
Yeah, the one I guess kind of an interesting element that I wish I kind of would have kept going back to build like tension was the clock in the with the countdown clock theme.
And it's really cool because it's a clock with 13 hours on it.
Yeah, like you have 13 hours to find me, and I'm like, why not just 12? But okay. but the 13th hour like actually is kind of cool considering it's fantasy. It's like, there is no 13th hour, but it kind of plays into some of the stuff he says at the end to her. But
yeah. So
she decides, hey, I'm going to go on this journey to save my dumbass screaming brother. Yeah, she meets these characters along the way. The first character she meets is Hoggle.
Which it's really cool how they did Hoggle. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, but Hoggle is a little person in a costume with an animatronic head. Like it's a mask with like animatronic, like electronic moving features in it. So like the mouth moving is electronic, like remote controlled.
Yeah. Do you know the Garbage Pail Kids? Garbage Pail Kids was it's a very famous 80s card thing of like they would take like these like Cabbage Patch Kids equivalent and then like make gross shit around them and stuff like that. Well, they did a live action version of that movie. Mm-hmm. The character of Hoggle, his face looks very similar. It's very similar in style to how they did the Garbage Pail Kids.
Huh, okay.
But the Garbage Pail Kids are horrifying, whereas he actually looks like a fleshed out like character.
Yeah.
The other ones are just like scary. If you ever want to talk about a movie that's like so bad it's just bad, like that's perfect.
It's not even so bad it's good, it's just bad.
Well, I mean, there are things about it that are funny bad, but like it's just overall, it's like
it's like, why am I watching this? When does it end?
Exactly. So she enters the labyrinth. She's going through. She one of the things I like too is how like with set design wise, it's like she's looking across, and she thinks she's seeing like this flat wall, and then the worm character is like talking.
Things aren't always as they seem here in the labyrinth.
To which she walks then forward.
I love that worm character.
Yeah, she then walks forward and you realize, oh, I'm actually looking at two different walls, but because it's so perfectly aligned.
Yeah, so it's like she's looking at I think it's like stone panels sort of that form this wall, and you see like some vines, like you see like two, like maybe 3 feet apart, like two like strips of vines going up, and she steps forward and she realizes the vines are actually on the edges of the entrance to a hallway. So she thinks she's looking at one wall. No, she's looking at one wall with an opening into a hallway.
Yeah, I like the part where she starts to leave and she goes one way and the worm's like, wait, go the other way. And she's like, oh, thank you. And then the worm
that way. If she went that way, she would have went straight to that castle.
Yeah, and it's like,
oh god,
I know. I was like, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So like her whole thing of like, going through, she goes, of course, like any hero's journey, there's like the test.
And I like that. This is a cool theme of the movie that a lot of people keep saying to her, or at least Hoggle keeps saying to her, and Jareth does too, that she takes too many things for granted. And I think the whole movie is supposed to be symbolic of like the labyrinth or the maze of navigating like coming of age.
Definitely. I definitely think it's going from being like a child to growing up.
And like things aren't always as they seem. You can't take things for granted, etc.
Yeah, like so the one test I like a lot, of course, is like the very famous, is he lying, is he telling the truth?
Yeah, I love that.
Like that's a very that's like a very old that's an old
that's like
riddle.
From medieval times, maybe even before.
Yeah, that's like an Answer My Riddles 3 kind of thing. Then of course she goes through the one place and she falls into the Oblak, I think is what it's called. But as she's falling into this cavern, hands are grabbing her. I don't know why this bothered me the most in the movie, is like the talking hands.
Same as a kid, like it freaked me out.
Well, it's just the talking hands are just very uncanny.
They're like these hands that come together to form face shapes, and like the lighting works really well with it because it's like this high contrast. It's just like a spotlight from above. So you just have these hands that are like pure light and shadow, and they're like coming together to make different face shapes. Now that I'm older, it's cool. But
well, no, it's just also too like the idea of anything grabbing you and being in a very confined space as it's grabbing you.
Yeah,
I'm like, ugh, bother me. But she ends up getting rescued,
especially because you're falling and like you have to rely on these hands to grab you, but it's also you don't want them to grab you.
Yeah,
it's like between a rock and a hard place kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. Yeah. So she ends up getting rescued by by Hoggle.
By Hoggle. Yep.
Turns out that like also too Hoggle is working with Jareth to basically
he's like a double agent, and Hoggle's like kind of conflicted because he's like, I think Hoggle actually like had a crush on Sarah.
Well, I didn't take it as much as a crush. I just more took it as like, well, yeah, she was the first person to call him a friend, and for him, like, it's like, I've never been viewed that way.
Yeah.
And I like the whole thing with Jareth telling him, like, if you don't help me out, I'm gonna hold your head underneath the bog of eternal.
The bog of eternal stench.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, that's harsh as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, it's more harsh once you see what the bog looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the one thing too, like when they're walking, like you see like what looks like one of like those like fantastical creatures, and then like it turns out it was like Gareth underneath like robes and like he had a mask.
Oh yeah.
And
that was cool.
Yeah, and then they're like, holy shit, like that's scary. They also get chased down by the cleaner.
And I really like this line. Like there's a lot of lines in this that are like cheesy and campy, but I love them. He says, so he does this thing with like crystal balls throughout the movie, which it turns out in the making of this movie, it was a different person behind David Bowie, and he would put his arms through while David Bowie's real arms were behind him. This other guy who had this talent would stick his arms through, and without seeing, he would have to like do these fancy movements with these crystal balls. But anyway, back to this scene. David Bowie says, this is a piece of cake, is it? How about this little slice? And then
yeah.
And then he throws the crystal ball, and then it becomes like this big machine that's like coming after them.
Well, I just like the idea of the guy who like had his hands like coming in for Bowie's hands, like doing like the tricks, being like, yeah, I put my balls in Bowie's face today.
Oh my god!
What do you think about that, motherfucker? But yeah, no. So the ball turns into like this cleaner thing that like chases them down.
Yeah.
What is it? They end up like getting up to this like they basically end up back where she initially started, which was like,
now they end up in this like little plaza looking place where there's this guy wandering around who has a chicken head coming out of his own head, I think they're like asking for money, like for advice to.
Yeah, and like she sacrifices her ring and her own possession to try to.
Please leave a contribution in the little box.
Oh yeah, and then I like the fact that the bird's like, can't believe she's like, what does the bird say? Like a sucker is born every minute or something like
that. Something like that.
I don't know. Then you get the big furry monster guy. Ludo. Stop doing that shit. Yeah, but Ludo's cool. He's like a cute little, like, you know, well, not cute. He's like a big fucking guy.
But he's a gentle giant.
Now, while
who talks to rocks and makes them move with his mind.
But like, I like the whole thing where she's like, "You want to be my friend?" He's like, "Friend?
Sarah, friend."
Yeah. Stop. Please stop. But while all this nonsense horse shit's going on, you cut to like David Bowie sitting in the castle with his like his goblin army all around him, and they're all like fucking around, and you see the baby like being like tortured by these things.
In 6 hours and 23 minutes, you'll be mine.
Yes, and then I like when they do the goblin dance. That song is
Dance Magic. I saw my baby.
Yeah, so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, but Bowie singing in the movie is awesome. That being said, his dance moves are not good though. They're like,
yeah, I know. He's just kind of like, I mean.
Well, he was probably freaked out by the fact that like it's like, what am I gonna step on one of these fucking like Muppet things? I'm gonna break one of these Muppets.
There's live chickens walking around too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm like, it's a fucking mess in there. But I guess that works for a Goblin King. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be like this organized operation. It's gonna look like shit.
But like for how clean and fabulous he looks, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's contradicting to the Goblin fucking things around him. Sarah, is on this journey now with Ludo. Ludo ends up disappearing. You get this weird, random ass segment of these like bird fire things that are switching their heads out.
Oh yeah.
Like it's cool, but it's like
that's my least favorite.
Yeah, part of the movie. But these characters in particular are like they literally are. Just,
I feel like it doesn't mesh with the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
just like aesthetically.
Yeah, and they're like chasing her. They're like, "Come back, girly!" And I'm like,
and they can like take their heads off and throw them, and take their arms off and like play golf with each other's heads, and like
yeah, it's kind of like all right,
it's kind of cringe.
Yeah, it's like a scene that I think you could have put on the cutting room floor, and it would have been fine. But then you get like finally where like she and Hoggle end up falling into this crevasse and end up in front of the Bog of Eternal Stink, which they're like bubbles of assholes that are just like opening up and like, releasing.
For real, the swamp has sphincters.
Yeah, I like to imagine.
Go on.
Yeah, like it's just very. It's like it's gross. It's weird.
Yeah.
They then run into Ludo again, and then they meet what the hell is
Sir Didymus?
Sir Didymus, who he's probably my favorite character.
And his dog Ambrosius.
Yeah, which it makes me laugh because the dog is actually like an actual dog.
You have a fox puppet in like medieval knight garb, like riding an actual dog.
Yeah, like I think this is like Jim Henson's attempt to make like Don Quixote, where it's like where it's like this like very like loyal royal knight who unfortunately like thinks way too much of himself when actually he's like this like little fox guy. I think a scene when it's like the funny scene is when like Didymus is like beating the living shit out of Ludo, and like he goes into the tree and then he comes out the tree.
And it's funny the way he moves because it's like his whole body is turning.
Yeah, it's like really funny. Again, it's like compared to Neverending Story with that puppeting, it's not even comparison. You can't compare the two because so Sir Didymus agrees to help join the mission.
Yep.
I like the whole part where he's like, my whole goal is to protect this bridge, and Sarah's like, well, how do I get across? He's like, you have to ask my permission, and she goes, can I have my permission to walk past? You see him like his eyes like wide, and he's like, yes, sure. And like he joins the party. I like also too they introduced the whole rock control power of Ludo.
Yeah.
Where like she's hanging over the bog of like shit assholes and like
and he roars and then like these rocks in like a perfect like video game platforming path like form in front of her.
Yeah, and
this is another movie that's very video gamey.
Yeah. And then there's this whole like thing too of like Hoggle like has to give like this poison peach to Sarah. And again he keeps like getting like he runs into like Jareth again, and Jareth just keeps like fucking up the name pronunciation.
Hogwart.
Yeah, he's like Hoggle,
Hogwash,
Hoggle, and he's like, you're gonna give the peach to her. or else I'm gonna hold your head. And no, he's like, if you get her to kiss you, I'll make you.
If she kisses you, I'll turn you into a fraud or a prince.
A prince.
Yeah.
A prince of eternal stink or something like that, or something. Yeah.
Like
Bowie's awesome. He's so hammy, really but he's awesome. So
he's a whole Final Fantasy villain in this.
So then we get to the scene where it's like Eyes Wide Shut for kids.
Oh my god!
where Sarah bites into the peach. She looks at Hoggle and goes, "What did you do, Hoggle?" And Hoggle, of course, runs off because he's a jerk off pussy.
Yep.
And she ends up like falling to the ground, passes out, and starts to trip as Jareth had put out these glass balls.
He's
bubbles.
He's blowing the glass balls into the air like bubbles, and then they're like drifting to her, and she sees them, and I think she like touches one, and then like goes inside it, and she's at like
it's like a masquerade.
At this, like masquerade ball, and there's something I never noticed about this scene until they brought it up in the behind the scenes. This is the only scene that takes place in like the Labyrinth fantasy world, but it's all humans in this scene.
Yeah, it's
and it's all adults too. So it's supposed to be like a very coming of age scene for her.
I don't know. This is like the element of the movie that like I feel like today people would be pissing their pampers about, but the whole thing
you have a 40-year-old man courting a 15-year-old girl.
Life in the big city, man. It's just part. It's it's part of the.
Try that in a small. Oh wait, that probably does happen.
Try that in a small town. No, but that last one, try that Life in the big city is actually a Tim Dillon joke. So
okay,
yeah, I'm just pulling out a bunch of bullshit out of my ass right now.
Go ahead.
But but yeah, no, it's
they actually still hold a Labyrinth ball to this day, like inspired by the Masquerade Ball.
That would be sick, actually. That is
right. I would love to go to one of those.
But no, but again, it's a cool aesthetic. The music, the song though is awesome. I like the song a lot.
Such a sad love. It's such a good song. It's my favorite song in the movie. Because like, if it's not about a 40-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl, it's a good love song.
Yeah, but I don't. Again, it's weird. It's like I don't know what to make of it. Because on one hand, I'm like, it's just like a scene where like he's like fucking with her. But mentally, but there's also the element of, is he actually like trying to pull some shit right now? And he's like trying
I think he was trying to pull some shit. I think it's supposed to be like, that teenage girl fantasy of being whisked away by like some king or other.
Yeah, by some rock star prince of goblins.
Rock star prince of a fantasy world senpai.
Yeah. Then after that scene, after she finally like breaks free of the dream because she realizes she's dreaming. She like smashes a chair and everything in the dream's like, what? All the people are like, what? And
yeah,
she like wakes up in a dump field in like this
dump field.
Yeah, like this
it really is though. It's all
this dumpster ass junkyard.
Trash as far as the eyes can see.
Yeah, this like junkyard.
Yeah,
and she wakes up and like there's this creature who like is like
trash lady.
Yeah, and she's like, "Come on, follow me now." And like she takes what I like is this. So this for me is like very like it hits me more as an adult now than it did then. But the scene where like she gets taken back to her room and she starts like the junk lady like you think for a second, okay, maybe she's woken up, maybe she's like back
when I was a kid, I thought that was the end of the movie, and then it kept going.
Yeah, and then the trash lady appears in the room and she's like, "Oh, come on, sit down now," and she has her sit and she starts to like put all of her possessions on her.
Like, oh, here, take your teddy bear, take your makeup, take all this stuff.
Yeah, all these possessions that ultimately don't mean as much, which is something I really like a lot as someone who like believes in minimalism, but that's like, I don't know if there's commentary there about that or
I think it is. I think it's commentary of like, physical possessions don't mean shit if you don't have like spirit or love or what have you.
Yeah. I like how they and then like of course she finally goes like fuck all this and she starts like throwing shit all around.
And she like breaks the mirror and then the whole place collapses.
Yeah, and you see like Sir Didymus and Ludo like they're waiting for her and they're like come on. So they get up. Finally they make their way to the castle.
And then they meet up with Hoggle again at some point.
Yeah, so what I like is the little fake out where like the entrance to the Goblin Kingdom or the Goblin City. It's like this knight who's just passed out asleep and they're trying to like Sir Didymus not shutting the fuck up, and Sarah literally has to grab him and go, shut the fuck up to him. They finally get inside, and they face off against this like mech.
Yeah, it's like a mech knight, like a steampunk knight that comes out of the wall, and then you have a great little boss battle.
Yeah, and then you have like a really great like redemption for Hoggle, where like he jumps on top. He rips open the lid of the thing,
and there's a little guy inside piloting it.
One of the things I was hoping for is because you see like spikes lift up out of the ground that keep them from escaping.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of like those things coming up, and then when like Hoggle throws the character out of it, the character like sticking to like the point and dying.
Oh my god!
Like it's mad brutal out of like nowhere in like a Jim Henson.
No, Jim Henson said specifically he didn't want anything violent in this whole like final battle scene. He wanted it to be like a goofy battle.
Yeah, and it is like so once they take out the mech and they get inside of the city. You see the clock is starting to get down to the final couple hours.
Yeah.
And one of the goblin knights comes in and goes, "Hey boss, you know that girl you've been trying to like keep from coming here? Well, she's here." And then he's like, "Everyone now, start moving."
Yeah.
He's like, "Alert the guards" or whatever. And
yeah.
And then starts this like
How come he didn't see that shit with his crystal ball?
I know, yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
But now you get this scene where like they're walking through the city, it's super quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see like just like a flood of goblins coming out of these goblin puppets, which I give a lot of credit. That's incredible how many puppets they had going while like, you have...
That had to be like dozens of puppets in this epic final battle.
At least 50 plus, I would say. A lot.
Yeah.
I like the whole, when they run into the house and like Ludo can't get into the house. So he just rips the whole wall off and like puts in and shuts the thing. Again, has a very...
Also, why are there chickens walking around?
I don't know.
I feel bad for the chickens on the set of this movie. They've witnessed so much.
Well, there is one scene where one of the rocks is rolling down and there are chickens in front of the rocks, and they both like you could see like they're like flapping their wings. I would assume though the rocks are like very light, so I would like.
Oh yeah, they're probably foam or something.
Yeah, so I like to think the chickens are fine, but still, it's like someone get these goddamn chickens back to their fucking pen. It's like where the fuck is Gonzo? When Gonzo comes out.
Oh my god.
I like the whole thing too of like has a very Monty Python feel to it.
Okay, yeah.
Like again, like I feel like Monty Python. You want to talk about another thing from the 70s that might have influenced a lot of this, of the futuristic,
modern medieval fantasy.
Yeah, like futuristic medieval fantasy.
Yeah,
like Monty Python. Granted, not the futuristic or like the synth or whatever.
Yeah,
but more like the set decorating, like the whole knights and like the whole lampooning of it.
Yeah.
Very similar in this movie. Like I like the whole scene where Sir Didymus is like surrounded and he's like, "You boys want some more?" And like it's really funny. He's like surrounded by like 7 like different like spears.
And then he's like, "Charge!"
So awesome.
And then it goes. The music literally goes. Yeah.
And then you get finally they're able to Ludo's able to get all the rocks to come out to like fight against the goblins.
Yeah.
I like the one guy who's like he's like firing like a machine gun. But Ludo's able to get a rock to like crush him, and you hear him say like, "Oh, all right then." Like,
yeah. And then there's this one thing that's pretty cool. There's like a cannon. It fires a spiky cannonball, and then as the spiky cannonball sticks into a wall, you see like it's a helmet. There's like a little guy in there.
He's
so
like,
they just shot like a little guy.
Yeah, he's
out
like,
of a cannonball.
Did I hit what I was supposed to hit? He's like, I hit what I was supposed to hit. Like he's really happy.
Yeah.
But like then you get like they're finally able to get into the castle itself. They get to the main throne room where you saw Jareth and the baby.
Yeah.
So then Sarah like basically has to say like farewell to them, and she goes like, "No, I have to face this guy alone."
Yeah.
They go, "Well, whenever you need us, we'll be right here." And she's like, "Okay, thank you so much." And she ends up going and she enters into an MC Escher drawing.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
This really cool MC Escher inspired, which if you don't know MC Escher, look him up. He was a really great artist. Specifically, this scene and this set is inspired by... He has this one famous drawing or painting. No, it was a drawing. You may have seen it. It's like a room, but it has like multiple different dimensions. So you have staircases going like this way and that. Some are going sideways. You have like doorways in the middle of the wall. Like this just very surreal room. And like they literally did that as a set for Labyrinth, which was really cool.
But yeah, like, and also too, the song in it's really awesome. How you've turned my world upside down, you precious thing. And like, and then like some of the falsettos he hits, I'm like...
Live without your
it's so good.
Yeah,
so good. She like jumps. She makes like a jump to save the baby, who's like he's like off to the side somewhere. And when she makes the jump, she ends up like falling all the way to the ground. And then you see Jareth like basically breaks everything apart to reveal like
So now it's like this Final Fantasy final boss setting where it's like you're in this like purple void, and there's like pieces of the castle floating in place in the air.
Yeah.
And he's in his final form now. He's wearing like this grandiose white outfit with like feathers.
Yeah. and he's like trying to like convince her to stay, and she finally starts to do the monologue that you saw at the beginning of the movie.
Which, what was the saying you told me earlier, like off podcast, where it should be on a t-shirt?
Oh yeah, hold on. So she starts to say this, like, you know, at the beginning of the movie, she had this like monologue she was saying.
Yeah.
He then is like realizing, oh man, she's about to like defeat me. So he's like, hold on, wait. Look, just work with me, and you know I can continue to keep this place going. I've made so many sacrifices for you. I will continue to sacrifice. Just keep staying here. She continues to say the monologue though, which is ultimately going to defeat Jareth.
Yeah.
Jareth has a line that he says that I'm like, that line is a line I'm going to say to like when I propose to my fiance one day. I might say it to her because it's like it's the most gaslighting ass line I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I wrote it down because I'm like, I've heard this line before and I thought to myself like, I'm like,
the line that brings the medieval rock star prince senpai crumbling down.
Well, it's a line that he says that when I hear it, I'm like, that's kind of like, it kind of goes hard. But at the same time, I'm like, you're gaslighting like the shit out of her. Like, and even like Goldrich pointed out too, he was like, yeah, it sounds like he's gaslighting her, but the line is, fear me, love me, do as I say, and I will be your slave.
And that makes no sense to me because a slave is someone who does what someone else wants. So it's like, do as I say.
Well, it's also too.
And I'll be your slave.
Well, I like the way
doesn't make sense.
Well, it's like the way he says it too, the way he delivers it. He's like, fear me, love me, do as I say, and I will be your slave. It's like Bowie saying that line specifically. I'm like, goddamn Bowie. Like, Bowie, come back to us, Bowie.
Right.
And then finally she remembers the line she's supposed to say.
Yeah.
To defeat him. What is the line? Because you were saying it. You had it memorized earlier. You were like killing it.
Yeah, I had it memorized. But the most important words she says are, "You have no power over me."
And that's when Jareth is like, and he like throws the ball up in the air, and when the ball falls down, she ends up like in her like living room.
Yeah, or her bedroom or wherever. She ends up back in her house.
Yeah, it's in her living room. She runs up the stairs to see the baby. The baby is now passed out in his bed, very calm.
And I think they do this thing of like the 13-hour clock runs out, and then she ends up back in her house, and then she looks up at like the actual normal 12-hour clock.
Yeah, and it's like hit midnight, and you hear like the sound of it.
Yeah.
And then I like the thing I like too. It's like a little like hammy and a little corny, but like I would have liked it maybe been just like she ends up like making. Like, kind of like, you know, just accepting her new, like, you know, hey, I've grown up, I've learned. But the whole thing of, like, when she looks in the mirror and she sees, like, her friends from the journey.
Yeah.
And they're like...
And they pop up in the mirror and they're like, should you need us?
Yeah, she's like, well, I need you right now. And she has, like, tears in her eyes. And they're like, well, why didn't you say so? And then she turns around, like, all... Yeah, and then they're all dancing and partying and shit.
Magic dance!
I know. And you see, like, the owl take off at the end. Like, kind of like a book ending of the movie.
Oh, and you hear this, like, little echoey, you remind me of the Babe.
Oh yeah, who's the babe? This babe. It's like I don't know. So these movies are
a wild ride.
They're wild, and also too like again like I can see how like a lot of people ended up like getting fucked up in the '90s, man, doing all the hard drugs, all you know. Okay, these are the kids who like see these movies, and then by the time they turn 18, they see The Matrix and go, I understand the world. I understand everything.
Nothing's real, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Come on, man. No, but these movies are cool. And again, like being someone who like grew up with Muppets, loves Muppets, you know, seeing these movies and like the fact that they took this like kind of cool approach to like, hey, let's take Muppets, put them with fantasy.
Yeah.
And, you know, make these awesome music tracks that are like futuristic.
Yeah.
Oddly, like with synth.
And then Labyrinth has a lot of synth, but also some like specifically very video gamey music.
Well, I feel like with the synth specifically, it's probably a money saving thing.
Okay.
Because if you think about it with the synth.
Oh, but they didn't save money on Bowie and like with all the other singers involved, because that song Underground that plays in the beginning,
mm-hmm.
I love Underground.
Well,
it's got a lot of backup singers and a lot of like jazz elements.
Well, I was saying even more like with Neverending Story, for example, like that,
okay.
like because that's very synth heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're definitely right with Neverending Story. I mean, Bowie is...
With Labyrinth, they...
or my bad, Labyrinth.
With Labyrinth, they went all out on the music.
Yeah, Bowie is just so fucking good. Bowie's the man. I love him.
Right, same.
Minus the whole courting scene that's a little... doesn't age well, but
Yeah,
but it's still like, I don't know. It's still cool. Like the aesthetic of it, I think, is what's cooler than the whole.
Yeah, but would you almost see this as a feminist film of like, this man has no power over me?
I think it would pass the Bechdel test. I mean, yeah, she's not like constantly talking about, she wants to save her baby brother, but like that's her talking about her like little fucking brother.
Yeah,
and it's not like she's constantly like, what's the whole thing with the Bechdel test? It's a movie that has to like.
No, it has to. So it actually doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
Oh, because there's no two female talking about, and then
her and her stepmom are literally the only women in the movie, and the trash lady.
Yeah, but they don't.
Oh wait, her and the trash lady, they talk about like, here's all your stuff, and she's like, this is bullshit, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's a movie where, like, yes, you could argue very much it's a feminist film, being that, like, Jennifer Connelly.
She's very young, being courted by an older man, which maybe even that's kind of a point that they're making. I don't know. Maybe it's not a cringy, out-of-date 80s thing. Maybe they were making a point. I don't know.
Yeah, again, I know I said Eyes Wide Shut about 17 different times for that scene. Yeah, I know. But, like,
it really is, though.
But it's like, yeah, it's like the kid version of like Eyes Wide Shut of like this, like kind of this creepy, because all like the people in the mask are like, are like all like dancing with each other. Like they're doing that whole thing of where they're like touching each other, but not touching each other at the same time.
Yeah. And they're all laughing. And it's like, Jim Henson said that this scene was supposed to be like a kid's like dreamlike window into the mysterious adult world that like you feel like you'll never understand.
But yeah, no, these movies, I definitely see these movies kind of being like, getting the kids like, hey, look at these fantasy movies with puppets and darker themes.
But it's also like these people in their 20s did a lot of acid and then grew up to make these movies.
The Vietnam War. But like you figure the kids who watch these movies now, they're going to get, they're going to grow up, and by the time they're in their teens, you get to like Willow, Legend, Princess Bride. Like I feel like that's like the next step in it of like, hey, let's make the movies now for
these
like
more like human centric movies.
Yeah, like not as many like puppets. Really, I mean, you get like cool like design.
I mean, Tim Curry is a Muppet.
Don't ever speak of him like that again.
I mean that in
Dr. Frankfurter gets some fucking respect.
Listen, I mean that in the highest way possible.
We'll get to that later. But yeah, no, these movies were cool. Like I didn't personally, the only one I really kind of had growing up was like Labyrinth, and that's really it. I did not have
Same. Like I had Labyrinth. Yep. I watched Dark Crystal way later, and I'm like, this is really cool, but it just don't got the vibe of Labyrinth.
Yeah, Neverending Story. Glad I saw it once, and that's about it.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. I was lucky to see it in theaters about a year ago, and
that music when the intro song. I do like the fact that the intro song like doesn't waste any time getting right to the like the song. Like it's not like a build up to the song.
Neverending like, story.
Turn around and tell me what you see. Like I don't know.
Yep. So anyway, that is a wrap on 80s Muppet fantasy, baby. And also 80s weird German puppet fantasy, but
Cirque de Muppet.
Cirque de Mupp.
Cirque de Mupp. Like there's someone's hearing this shit right now, and they're like looking horrified. Cirque de Mupp.
Anyway, visit your local Cirque de Mupp and have a great day, ladies and germs.
Yep, see y'all.
Thank you for listening to The Richest Podcast. Bye-bye.
Peace out.